Good morning. This morning, this is the first episode of The More You Know, The More You Grow. And I'm going to be reading some excerpts from Stacey Eldridge's book, Defiant Joy. The excerpts come from page 132 to 134. And again, the more you know, the more you grow. Stacey writes, a woman recently wrote me saying, "This morning I awoke feeling like my spirit had been wrestling throughout the night. I asked the Lord to speak to me, and I heard God ask me to surrender, and I thought I had. But I think the truth of what is in my heart is more about how I find myself tolerating God's will for me instead of coming to rest and embrace something I don't understand and wouldn't have chosen." There's so much we can glean from this set-apart time. What I call sacred pain. Perhaps a deeper understanding, a new voice, a broader grace, a fresh beauty that was hidden underneath that strength and comfort of what we have always depended upon. May we learn more steps to the dance with Jesus and encourage others to join in. There is something forged in all this that can only be forged through fire. Perhaps intense periods of struggle, pain, betrayal, persecution, and rejection are times when the baptism by fire that Jesus talks about occurs. Our pain becomes the terrain of God. It becomes sacred. Finding the good, or rather choosing to find the good, is choosing to align oneself with the Spirit of God, who is always working toward our good. It's more than a master and a matter of focus, but it can begin there. It's different from the denial. It is not turning your face away from the sacred pain, but embracing God in the midst of it and finding that embracing God is a greater good comes than you could have imagined. You become grateful in pain because you found Christ with a crystal clarity heightened by all that has cut you to the quick. With that posture, you can become free from pain's deadening, life-stealing grip. In that place of freedom, our joy remains intact, planted firmly in the goodness of our Father. In 1 Thessalonians 5:18, we are instructed to give thanks. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. Perhaps it'll help us to give thanks when we know that even in the darkest of nights, when we cannot see, we can trust that God of love is forging gold in our hearts. It is the gold that cannot be stolen by any thief, no matter how desperately they might try. May God add a blessing to our time together. And remember, the more you know, the more you grow.